Oh boy, where do I start? There have been a lot of things that have happened in the last few weeks, but let's start with what has happened in the last 48 hours. I made a tweet mentioning that Jagex had patched a bug which allowed for players to enter the tombs of a musket with more invocations than intended. For instance, you could have multiple death invocations or time invocations turned on, with only the highest one being utilized. However, it increased your raid level, making the highest possible raid level you enter the raid even higher, at 770. Now I doubt anyone's crazy enough to attempt the 770 run, but alas, it's been patched now, so we won't be seeing that clear anytime soon. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. A wave of bans came through, leading to many players copying the smoke. 96 temp bans, 3 perm bans, and a whole lot of gold and various kits. Transmogs, all of that, null and voided. Now let's start talking about some of those bans. Toxie, a well-known endgame PVMer, was one of the few who were taken off midstream, and I haven't seen him say anything anywhere since the time of the temp ban. However, I will note that Reddit and many Discord users want his head, and have been calling for a perm ban in his case due to his past offense, aka the Coxie Clicks incident. Of course, it's safe to say I trust Jagex's judgment on this, but all in all, I do hope our man is going to be alright, because my god, the amount of hate that I've seen for this man across Reddit and Discord is absolutely insane. Coxie, if you're hearing this, take care of yourself, man, and please, if you're watching this, don't send any negativity his way, please. If anything, send him a couple of nice messages. Thank you. Now, outside of that, there were other players who were permed as well. Seven, a YouTube content creator, was permed on his Iron Man for abusing the bug, having ran many TOA runs with bug notifications on, to which he then made a tweet in hopes of possibly getting it looked at, only for a JMod smackdown to ensue afterwards. Very unfortunate for him, especially on an endgame Iron Man. Hedabar was another player who was perm banned, and he on the other hand had an accumulated gold value of 40 bill on his account. Seems like that GP won't be going anywhere though. There are of course some other cases of players getting banned, however these are the only ones that I've been made aware of in the last couple of hours. So what's the moral of the story, you might ask?
Don't screw with bugs.
Speaking of bugs, there were a couple of bugs that had risen up recently. Firstly, accuracy was not appropriately multiplied on the Shadow. It was 3 times in the raid, as proven by Oblivion scientists such as Kokenpan, because at values that would be -64 when multiplied by 4, you still wouldn't splash, which made 0 sense. This was fixed today, only for another bug to arise, which now reduces your P2 damage on Wardens with the Shadow. Jagex has addressed this, and it should be fixed tomorrow. Other than that, there was an interesting series of bugs which also came to be. A safe spot in the Warden's P3 area, which was hilarious. I did use it for one of my streams, just as a meme. There were some issues with dodging attacks such as the Akka Hourglass special as well, which you could avoid with good movement. I mentioned the Akka bug was unintentional and brought it back, but with a slightly different behavior. You have to stand in a new spot to dodge the attack. And that's not the worst bug, of course. This is old news, but there was a purple reroll bug which allowed for people to enter the final room one by one in hopes of rerolling a white chest to a purple. Of course, there were no instances of bans mentioned from this, or made public at least, probably because it could not have been tracked. How unfortunate. That's basically been it for the bugs that I've seen in the last few weeks. I think the next thing to mention isn't per se a bug, but more of a cautionary note. There have been a spree of account recoveries left and right. One player named Wallace, who had just recently gotten their account back, getting recovered again, which is highly unfortunate. I know in some cases, if you've ever let people on your account, you're compromising its safety, or if you play on a bot account, again, it's not safe. But then again, I do feel that Jagex really does need to bring up the ante on the security soon, since having people play on brand spanking new accounts to guarantee security should not be the current meta solution. It's unfortunate when your account gets hacked and now you have to make it level 3 and rebuild it all the way to max stats and complete everything again, which is really unfortunate. But that's it for the video. This one was more of a quickie just to report some stuff I've seen the last few weeks. I'm still working on some other projects, so those will eventually go up soon, but that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed.